Right, so I'm going to be talking about targeting your demographic as a TikTok shop affiliate, because the difference between a creator doing genuinely £300 a month to 3k per month genuinely comes down to this. If you cannot master your demographic, you're not going to make any money, or you're going to make you some money, but just nowhere near enough in the amount you actually want to make to actually get some sort of financial freedom out of TikTok shop. So let me run you through a couple of creators and tell you the differences between their content and actually them targeting their demographic correctly. So if we look at Camilla Fines right here, she did 32k profit last month in the last 30 days. And let's look at the content. Okay, so seems quite young, isn't going to be older than about 23, 24 years old by the looks of it. She's doing a lot of these nice clothes that a lot of young girls are also going to want to get. And she's clean. She has a really clean kind of like room, like kind of clean girl aesthetic as they call it. Good lighting, good audio, filmed in 60 FPS. We'll run through all of these things. Why does it work? Because she's targeting the correct demographic and she's going with what she actually knows works for the people that are viewing her content. Realistically, 50-year-old Stacey that lives on a council estate isn't going to be watching this content, is she? No, of course not. So why would she target that demographic? Make sense? Why are you trying to sell a product that a 50-year-old has massive pain points for that an 18-year-old doesn't care about? It doesn't mean you can't sell them products, just sell them on different pain points. So let's say, for example, if we're selling like a Dr. Malaxin stick, that's been working really well in the UK right now, and in the US. For example, if you're trying to sell it to a 50-year-old nan or granddad or whatever, maybe you can pick up the pain point of like smokers lines around here. But if you're selling it to a younger person, maybe do it towards under eye bags, dark eye bags, things like that. That's going to be a lot stronger, a lot better, rather than someone that is going to be, I don't know, struggling with these smokers lines or Botox lines or whatever you call them. That is going to be something they're focused on rather than something that a younger demographic may want. But if we look at the Porter family, and yes, the older generation are almost always going to make more money on TikTok Shop, accept that, but it doesn't mean you still can't hit 10k per month really easily with the right strategy. Anyway, so the Porter family, 60k profit last 30 days, which to be completely honest is just insane. And I spoke to the Porter family, they genuinely are really nice people, but she mostly runs the account right now. And I'm going to run through her kind of strategy. So hers is very just straight up towards a product, middle of funnel content. If you don't know what it is, I've got a YouTube video on it, you can watch it and go for it. But it's pretty much just really high energy, not really no major strategy around it, just really high energy and a bunch of volume. Why does this work? Her demographic, which we can talk about in a minute, is much older and they have a lot more money to spend and just want straight to the point stuff that they're actually going to buy. Because the older demographic goes on the app to buy actual products. Most people in the younger demographic will scroll past, see a product, buy it if it's cheap, and go on with their day. Okay, so she can target things that are a little bit more expensive as well because she's a little bit older and can actually target that demographic better. It's not to say that you can't hit an older audience if you want to. There's a lot more strategies you have to use to get around that. But almost always just target a demographic that is within your own actual age range, because I promise you it's going to work a lot better for you 99.9% of the time. So yeah, understand your target demographic, not niche. Please, please, please do not get these messed up, because people do it all the time and they get super confused and it ruins their whole entire content strategy. So if we look at this, understanding your target demographic and not niche. For example, she's doing clothing quite a lot of the time. But that doesn't mean she can't do supplements, because the younger audience can still want supplements. And to be quite honest, because she's in good shape and she's a pretty girl, she probably could still do well with supplements, with beauty products. She just has to make sure she's doing the right ones with the right kind of pain points structured towards someone at our age range. Whereas, for example, some people will think, oh, but she just does clothing, so that's all she does, that's all she can do. Yes, it may work better for her, but it doesn't mean she has to just do that niche. I think structuring down on one specific niche is one of the worst things you can do as a TikTok shop affiliate, because there's so many broad products out there, and you could see one that's just about to do really well, and you know it's about to do well, and you won't jump on it just because it's not in your niche, which I promise you will be a massive downfall for a lot of your guys' content. So yeah, let's run through this. Why would Camilla not sell anywhere near as well with the same content style as the Porter family? These two content styles are completely different, and you can see that in the content. A lot easier, more laid back, more volume, a lot more higher quality, smoother, crisper, and we'll go through it and we'll let you understand why that is. So her content style is towards a younger demographic. They want cleaner visuals, more quality, 60 FPS recording on your iPhone, products catered to them, and this is why McDonald's have iPads. It's something that goes into a bit deeper psychology, but Why do they have iPads in McDonald's now? Because they understand their target demographic is kids coming with their parents. What does a parent not want to do when they're at McDonald's? Have to occupy their kid. They want to eat their food, and because everyone's dopamine receptors are fried, which unfortunately that's what pretty much TikTok Shop Affiliate is, they have to have their kids on the iPads consistently. Oh, let me eat my food, let me eat these fries. Constant dopamine all the time. They understand their target audience, and they'll do everything in their power to make sure that actually works. Objections in money. Okay, so you have to go through more of these in your content. Understand there's going to be more objections towards a younger person selling on TikTok Shop Affiliate, especially as a male rather than a female, because no one really likes it. Do you know what I mean? It's a business model that's going to look down upon and frowned upon, but if you actually get past that point and do it in a legit, chill way, I promise you it's going to work a lot better. And money objection also, because they don't have enough money, so you almost want to sell products that are a lot cheaper. They don't have to think about as much, which I'll go over and explain more about when we go through Bally Best Buys account, but for now, we'll go through that. So, why does the Porter family have lower quality content but it sells? Older demographic, they have more money to spend, they want straight to the point content, and it's highly energetic, really chill, upbeat, likable person, and her tonality is perfect for it. She doesn't sit there on the camera and go, oh yeah, you can buy this new Yaz Clean bundle, it's amazing, it's 12 quid. She's energetic, guys, you can buy it right now, it's like 12 quid, best deal, I love this stuff, I use it for this, this, and this. You get across this a lot better, and I promise you that content style can work really well for someone in the older demographic. You don't really need to focus too much on anything else if you're kind of trying to target that anywhere from 30 to 50 to 60-year-old audience. And the older you get, the more money you can make, because how bigger pain points they deal with, and if you can extract that from them and push it towards them in their content, it's going to work a lot better. But how did Bally Best Buys get over this? Because objections is a huge thing when you were younger on TikTok Shop Affiliate. Bear in mind, I'm pretty certain he just turned 19 or he's still 18. Isaac, really nice guy, genuinely an amazing guy. Why did this work, and how does he make, I think, 15 to 16k profit last month? Why is that? Because he understands his demographic. Shavers for £10, literally amazing. His hook for this was, does anyone else hate shaving their pubes? Said it to someone in the older generation, oh, you're disgusting. Why would you say that in a video on TikTok? That's disgusting. But he's going to go in towards his target demographic. If he does that automatically, he's letting his guard down, he's being very open, and people that like that, they like that. It's likability. It's something that you really need to have in your content in this day of age, because if you don't, you're going to struggle. There's a guy called Celis, a guy called, some of you may have saw Harren before, good friend of his, and his content style was literally just chill back, tell them, protein cookies, if you want them, you can get them. If not, I don't give a fuck. That is pretty much exactly what he said, and that content style worked for him because he was open and honest with the demographic that he was hitting, and people were buying because of that, because they understood that he wasn't actually just some sort of random tech nerd that was on TikTok Shop. He was just being open and honest. He's a normal guy trying to make more money, and he said that across in his videos. And you need to do that when you're going towards the demographic of our age, because they know we make a lot of commission off of it. Whereas with the older audience, they may not understand that actually you're contributing to someone's well-being by giving them this money, by buying this product. Okay? And then we see this time and time again. So Bally Best Buys, he understands it. Why does he sell joggers, cheap shavers, creatine, etc.? One, he uses unfair advantages. So for example, creatine, he can sell really well. His physique's amazing. He's able to do that. Joggers, because he knows that it's something a younger demographic will want, these baggy joggers, and his text hooks always correlate with that. Okay? Marlon's joggers, January essential. Is a 60-year-old mum going to know who Marlon is? I very highly doubt it, unless she's watching his first traps on TikTok. But, you know what I mean? They're not really going to know who that is as compared to that kind of target demographic. Whereas if he hits that, and it hits the For You page and it does well, straight away he's going to hit that demographic of that young 18, 20, 25-year-old lads, people that want this type of product because the text hook correlates with it. Okay? Understood? And that's going to work really, really well. Young demographic, he thinks about their wants and their needs, social proof and likability. So for example, with the joggers, social proof and likability, everyone's moving on to baggy joggers. As a young person, everyone cares about the way they look, what they're wearing, if they're with the trends. So what's he do? He uses that to his advantage. Baggy joggers, something they want. It's cheap, it's easy. Not a lot of money needs it. He thinks about their wants. What makes them look better in the public eye? For example, the joggers. I know we're going really deep here, but I promise you it's going to help massively. Social proof and likability, which he talked about, which people will get just from wearing the joggers and using the shavers, etc. Text hooks are worded with slang, which is something I just talked about as well with the Marlon thing. He does this a lot in his videos. Uncuffed joggers, things like that. He knows that's what people want in that kind of fashion area now. It's a lot of uncuffed stuff, nothing too tight, nothing too kind of stuck to your legs. Back in like 2014, where you've seen the photo of the guys outside Prism with like jeans stuck to their legs. You don't want that no more. Okay, so he does that, and he knows he's going to hit that target audience and the people that actually want to buy the product. All right, so what if I hit the wrong demographic, and why would that be? Wrong hook, wrong variable hook, wrong visual, wrong text hook. So just in general, your hook will usually be the reason why you're hitting the wrong audience. Why do we see this happen, and how can we fix it, and how can we make sure that it doesn't happen? Okay, so this guy here, Danny Wilson, really nice guy, spoke to him a few times, genuinely a really, really nice guy. Something he did wrong in his content here is he had a really young looking outfit on. It's something you'd probably see a young lad, maybe 20 years old or something like that, wearing like Benidorm or something. But when you come on there, 35, however old he is, 31, 35, 40, wherever it may be, if you're wearing this with some Gucci bag with some rap music in the background, which he had, you're gonna hit that young audience that doesn't care about buying. They're just there simply to rip you to shreds. That is all they care about. So make sure you're not doing that in your content, and also make sure your products align with that. So it's really important you do that, and that's usually the main reason why you see it go wrong. You've either called out something in their verbal hook and said something that's young slang, used a text hook maybe on Snapchat, which is going to again hit a younger audience because it's more catered to them, because it's a Snapchat, it's kind of a young app to use. And the visual hook sometimes, it could be something that's so silly. Like for example, one of my clients, Phil, you probably see this video, he started a video with a ham almost where he was pretending to wee on his hands, and what that was doing is just hitting that younger audience straight away, which means he got 2.5 million views, made about £100 of the video, which is a terrible conversion rate. With TikTok Shop, you should be aiming to make about 3k off of 2.2 million views, possibly even more if your conversion rate is good and your demographic is definitely older. So yeah, that's really all it comes down to, demographic, and making you truly understand who your demographic is and understand it to a deep, deep level. Because if you don't do that, I absolutely promise you, it's going to cause you so many issues. You're going to hit the wrong audience time and time again. You're going to have the wrong audience for your product, and you're never ever really going to sell that well if you do that. And yes, there are some all-rounder products. For example, it could be a £27 air fryer on a Black Friday deal. You can be 20 selling that. You can be 50 selling that. You can be 70 selling that. But there's always going to be a group of people that it sells best to, and it's usually the older people because they have more money to spend. But yeah, hope that helped, and yeah,